The future of human evolution. What will we look like in 1 million years? Humanity is in a unique position unlike any other species. We are no longer solely shaped by natural selection. Advances in genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, and space colonization may allow us to direct our own evolution, but even without human intervention, environmental pressures, climate change, and long-term survival in new ecosystems could significantly alter the way future humans look, think, and function. To explore the future of human evolution, we will examine key scientific theories, recent genetic research, and the predictions of evolutionary biologists, neuroscientists, and transhumanists. The question is no longer whether humans will evolve, but rather how and into what. The forces driving future human evolution, genetic mutation and natural selection. Despite medical advances, natural selection still plays a role in shaping human genetics. Mutations continue to accumulate over generations, and even small evolutionary pressures such as diet, disease resistance, and climate can lead to significant changes. One clear example of recent evolution is lactose tolerance. Originally, humans lost the ability to digest milk after infancy, but genetic mutations in certain populations allowed them to continue producing lactase, the enzyme that breaks down lactose. This adaptation spread rapidly in regions with dairy farming. Studies of ancient DNA suggest that this change occurred in as little as 10,000 years, an instant in evolutionary time. If small dietary changes can drive such adaptations, what might happen over 1 million years? Some scientists argue that modern medicine weakens natural selection by allowing individuals with genetic disorders to survive and reproduce. However, geneticist Stephen Stearns has pointed out that while medicine changes who survives, it does not stop evolution, it merely shifts its direction. Genetic engineering. The rise of designer humans. The development of CRISPR and other gene editing technologies could lead to an entirely new phase of human evolution. Instead of waiting for beneficial mutations to appear randomly, humans may design their own genetic future. Jennifer Doudna, a pioneer in gene editing, has argued that genetic modification could eliminate hereditary diseases and enhance human abilities. However, bioethicists such as George Church warn that widespread genetic modification could lead to a loss of genetic diversity, making humanity more vulnerable to unforeseen environmental changes. If future societies prioritize intelligence, strength, or longevity, artificial selection could replace natural selection, shaping humanity according to social values rather than survival pressures. Will this lead to a genetic divide, where enhanced individuals dominate natural-born humans? Or will genetic engineering become universally available, ensuring equal access to evolutionary improvements? The answers to these questions may determine the future of human diversity, space adaptation, and extraterrestrial evolution. If humans colonize other planets, evolution could take drastically different paths in each environment. The NASA twin study showed that long-term space exposure affects gene expression, immune function, and even cognitive abilities. Astronaut Scott Kelly's telomere structures that protect DNA lengthened in space, though they returned to normal upon his return to Earth. Extrapolating from this, humans living in space for thousands of years could develop longer limbs, weaker bones, and altered metabolism to adapt to microgravity. On planets with low light, such as Mars, larger eyes could evolve to enhance vision. Astrobiologist Dirk Schultz-Mackach suggests that over time, these adaptations could lead to the emergence of new human subspecies, separated by planetary conditions. If interplanetary civilizations rise, will they remain connected? Or will physical and cognitive differences create separate species with distinct cultures, technologies, and even communication methods? The merging of AI and human biology. Ray Kurzweil predicts that artificial intelligence will merge with human biology in the coming centuries, creating a hybrid species that is part organic, part digital. Brain-computer interfaces could allow humans to enhance their intelligence, upload knowledge instantly, and even transfer consciousness between bodies. However, cognitive scientist John Searle has argued that true AI consciousness may be impossible, as human thought is not merely data processing. If Searle is correct, humans may never fully merge with AI, but could instead co-evolve with digital systems, using AI to enhance cognition while retaining biological minds. Will this lead to a species of post-humans capable of surviving without physical bodies? Or will the limits of AI keep humanity grounded in biology? Physical transformations. What will future humans look like? Brain evolution. Bigger or smaller? Over the past 1,000,000 years, the human brain has nearly tripled in size. But some scientists believe that brain size may shrink in the future. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has suggested that social complexity drives brain expansion. However, if AI takes over many cognitive tasks, natural selection for large brains could weaken, leading to smaller but more efficient brains. Susanna Herculano Housel, a neuroscientist, argues that the number of neural connections matters more than brain size. If future humans integrate AI-enhanced cognition, brain architecture could shift toward faster processing and greater connectivity, rather than sheer volume. Skin, eyes, and climate adaptation. As global temperatures rise, darker skin may become universal due to increased radiation. Human skin color has evolved in response to sunlight exposure, with populations near the equator developing more melanin to protect against UV damage. In a future of climate change, such adaptations may spread globally. On Mars or other dimly lit environments, humans may evolve larger eyes for low-light vision. Similar adaptations are seen in nocturnal animals, whose eyes gather more light to improve night vision. Height and body proportions. Bergman's rule states that warmer climates favor taller, slender bodies to dissipate heat, while colder environments favor shorter, stockier builds to retain warmth. If Earth's climate continues warming, humans may grow taller and leaner. In low-gravity environments, humans may develop elongated limbs and weaker bones. Over thousands of years, space-dwelling humans could diverge significantly from their earthbound ancestors. The future of reproduction. The end of natural birth. Reproduction has long been the cornerstone of human evolution, but emerging technologies in genetics and artificial reproduction may fundamentally alter the way humans pass on their genes. The natural process of childbirth, shaped by millions of years of evolution, could soon be replaced by controlled, technologically assisted methods. This shift would not only affect human biology, but also the very nature of human relationships, family structures, and genetic diversity. The decline of natural selection in human reproduction. Since the 20th century, advances in medicine and reproductive technology have significantly reduced the impact of natural selection. Conditions that once led to high infant mortality rates, such as genetic disorders, premature birth, or complications during pregnancy, are now managed with medical interventions. Evolutionary biologist Stephen Jay Gould argued that natural selection is now largely neutralized in humans, meaning that random genetic mutations accumulate without being filtered by survival pressures. However, some researchers, like John Hawkes, disagree, stating that human evolution is still accelerating due to cultural and technological changes that influence reproduction. One striking example is the increase in the prevalence of cesarean section births. Studies in evolutionary medicine suggest that modern obstetrics has led to a rise in fetal macrosomia, larger babies, which would have been naturally selected against in the past due to birth canal constraints. A study published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that C-section births have increased by 10 to 20% in the past century due to evolutionary pressures, favoring larger newborns. Over thousands of years, This could lead to anatomical changes where human birth is no longer feasible without medical intervention. Artificial wombs. A revolution in human birth. The development of artificial wombs, also known as esthesiogenesis, is one of the most transformative technologies in reproductive science. In 2017, researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia successfully grew premature lambs in biobags, fluid-filled artificial wombs that mimic the uterine environment. This technology is currently being adapted for human use, and some scientists predict that within a few decades, artificial wombs could replace traditional pregnancy. Evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins argues that artificial wombs could lead to the elimination of pregnancy-related mortality and complications, making childbirth safer for both mothers and infants. However, bioethicist Francois Baylis warns that this could create ethical dilemmas, such as government control over human reproduction, the commercialization of childbirth, and the erosion of maternal-fetal bonding. If artificial wombs become mainstream, natural pregnancy could become rare or even obsolete over the next several thousand years. Would this create a new evolutionary bottleneck where humans become dependent on technology for reproduction, unable to naturally sustain the species without scientific intervention? Genetic engineering and the rise of designer babies. Gene editing technologies such as CRISPR or Cas9 allow scientists to modify DNA before birth, potentially eliminating genetic diseases and even enhancing desirable traits. In 2018, Chinese scientist He Jiankui announced that he had edited the genomes of two twin girls to make them resistant to HIV. This experiment was widely condemned by the scientific community due to ethical concerns, but it demonstrated that human genetic modification is no longer theoretical, it is happening now. If widespread, genetic engineering could lead to radically altered human physiology, intelligence, athleticism, and even emotional traits could be selected for, leading to a genetically stratified society. Philosopher J.R.G.E.N. Habermas argues that such modifications could undermine human autonomy, as future generations would be designed rather than naturally conceived. The implications of this are profound. Will future societies accept natural humans, or will unmodified individuals be at a disadvantage? Could genetic modifications lead to entirely new human subspecies, adapted for different environments? If genetic selection becomes the norm, the process of evolution as we understand it may cease to exist. Instead, human evolution would be directed by scientific preference rather than environmental pressures. Sexual selection and changing mating patterns. Sexual selection, which Darwin identified as a major driver of human evolution, may also change dramatically due to technology. With the rise of AI-driven dating apps and genetic compatibility testing, future humans may select partners based on precise genetic matches rather than traditional social factors. Anthropologist Helen Fisher has studied how human attraction is influenced by neurobiology, noting that dopamine-driven romantic attachment has shaped human mate selection for thousands of years. But if relationships become driven by genetic optimization, will love and attraction still play a role in human reproduction? If technology determines ideal genetic pairings, the role of human emotion in reproduction could be minimized, leading to a society where relationships are based on biological efficiency rather than personal choice. The post-human era. What comes after Homo sapiens? If humanity survives for another million years, we may no longer resemble the Homo sapiens of today. The forces of genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, space colonization, and human-machine integration could lead to entirely new species, some evolved naturally, others intentionally designed. The question is not just how we will evolve, but whether we will remain human at all. The emergence of Homo technologicus, merging with machines. Futurist Ray Kurzweil predicts that by the 22nd century, humans will have fully integrated with artificial intelligence, creating a new species, Homo technologicus. Brain-computer interfaces. such as Elon Musk's Neuralink, are already in early development. If this technology advances, humans could potentially upload their consciousness to digital systems, achieving a form of digital immortality, enhance their cognitive abilities beyond natural biological limits, modify their emotions and personalities, eliminating negative traits like fear or aggression. However, neuroscientist Christo F. Koch argues that true AI consciousness is impossible, as biological brains have unique quantum properties that cannot be replicated digitally. If Koch is correct, human consciousness may always require a biological foundation, preventing full machine integration. Would Homo technologicus be considered human? Or would this new species view unmodified Homo sapiens as obsolete? Speculation. The rise of multiple human species. Throughout evolutionary history, multiple human species have coexisted. Neanderthals, Denisovans, and Homo sapiens once shared the planet. Could this happen again? If humans colonize different planets, they will be exposed to unique evolutionary pressures. Astrobiologist Charles Koch LL has proposed that within 100,000 years, humans living on Mars or other exoplanets may diverge into distinct species, adapted for their environments. Possible adaptations include thicker bones and increased muscle mass in low-gravity environments, larger eyes for seeing in dimly lit planets, oxygen-efficient lungs for surviving on planets with thin atmospheres. Over millions of years, these adaptations could become so extreme that interbreeding between Earth humans and space humans would no longer be possible, leading to the emergence of separate species.